All right, everybody, come on in, come on in. We are so happy to be back together again. Maggie and Lucy, MaggeLu, whatever you want to call us. Lucy, it's so good to see you. I've missed you.
I've missed you too, Maggie. I've missed all of you. It's so weird to not have a stream during the week. It's like it's been years. I love our followers. I love you, Maggie. And it's been such a emotional week for me that this is like my happy place. So this makes me happy.
Absolutely. So, welcome to the happy place. So, for anybody new here, hi, I am Maggie, Maggie, the substitute teacher. You may know me from my cooking channel. I make food and femininity content. Lucy and I are the founders of the Finishing School for the Modern Woman. And tonight we are talking all about our finishing school. And we are here to take your questions. We're going to tell you what it is, why we do it, go over it at a high level. I think we even have some former students in the chat who are going to be telling us about their experience. But if you are a woman or you know a woman who's interested in refining her femininity, her elegance, and her etiquette, we have an amazing program and community for you all. All right, so let's see who we have in the chat. You do not have to wait. You can go ahead and type your questions if you have any, or you can listen from the cloud. We've got Escape the Rat Race in the house. She says, I attended the fall 2023 finishing school. I had a wonderful experience. I'm a business owner in a predominantly masculine space, and the course was very helpful in keeping me focused on femininity. Oh my goodness. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And so she says she has her live stream tonight, so she can't join us live. But thank you, Escape the Rat Race, for the comment. Hello to the Clue channel, and we love you back. All right, so we're going to get right into it. I wanted to first start by just defining what a finishing school is, why we have them, and why Lucy and I are interested in this space. So I just Googled finishing school, and it says, known as charm schools in the US, finishing schools are schools created for the sole purpose to teach people social graces and upper class rituals. The foremost and primary focus of classes in finishing school is etiquette, and academic subjects are secondary. So let me just break that down for you all, because I am also a student in addition to teaching. And what I've learned in my own studies is, you all know the history back in the past where you had, the elite or the aristocracy, and then you had regular people like all of us. And usually in the elite circles, they would be trained a certain way how to carry themselves out and about. It was just part of their upbringing. This was not included for regular people like you and me. But as time went by, and now it's easier to get wealth, and we mix in all kinds of different categories, whether it's class levels or whatever you want to call it, there is an opportunity for those of us from humble beginnings to be exposed to different people. And so, if you want to know those social graces, and like I say, ladies, if you've gotten feedback that you're harsher than you want to be, louder than you want to be, maybe you also work in a masculine environment, it could be beneficial for you, because femininity really is our superpower. And I enrolled myself in finishing school, and so I share what I have been learning. So, Lucy, I'd love to know what introduced you to this space.
To me, I think it was I can tell you how I got into the femininity and elegance thing. I used to be a tomboy. My mom used to see me with all the boys doing the BMX bikes and going into hills and doing all the boy things and getting, wrecked and the mud and doing all that stuff. And my mother thought, maybe we need to send her somewhere where she could be a little more refined because she's a lady, she's growing up, and she's not going to be doing this all this time. So she put me in modeling school and charm school, and at the time I thought it was annoying, and I thought, why do I need this? And as I started, as I kept growing up and, I got married, those things that you learned when you were younger and you didn't realize that they were going to be useful, then reality hits and you go back and say, wow, mom was right. And then Maggie and I got together through Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels used to say something about, older ladies need to show these skills to younger women. And then all of a sudden, I think Maggie was saying something about a finishing school. And I said, you know, I graduated my bachelor's, my degree is in education. I could write up curriculum, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. So we're going to go over our curriculum with you all. And again, tonight is the night. So ladies, if you're interested, if you're on the fence, if you want to know what happens there and what we do, we're going to talk about it. The Finishing School for the Modern Woman is open to ladies of all ages. Literally, I would say from 18 to 60 plus. We have had teenagers and we have had more senior ladies in our class because we believe this is really a personal development space. You have never perfected yourself. We can always get better. And so if you want to improve in your social graces, and not only that, ladies, it will help you in relationships, both personal, professional, family. These are really good skills that are becoming a lost art. So that's what we are going to talk about. So I am going to show you our curriculum, let you know what you can expect in the finishing school. If you've heard enough and you're ready, go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. You see the coupon code right there. It's MaggeLu, and that'll give you $50 off the tuition. You have lifetime access, and I'm going to show you everything that you get. Who do we have in the chat? We have Fem Gems. She says, I attended the finishing school. It was great, and I learned a lot of valuable lessons. This is the sisterhood you want to fraternize and associate with. I applied the same gems, and it helped me to be in the healthiest relationship. So thank you. Another success story. And that's a huge part of it, ladies, community. All of us, I would say, should be in the type of community that has similar goals or is striving for the same thing, because it's going to be difficult in this space. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Most modern women today are not elegant. It is a rare quality, and it makes you stand out. And I think it makes us stand out in a good way, but you need to know if you are going to embark on this type of training, you're not going to be included in everything everywhere. There will be some things where you're kind of like, that's not really for me. So having a community of women that believe in being the best version of ourselves, that do believe in traditional gender roles, supporting each other and helping, correcting with love and doing that in a safe space, this is the community. So thank you so much, Fem Gems. Lucy, I'm going to pull up our curriculum that you helped write. What else would you add?
And it's important to be in a group of in an environment where we all want to every one of us wants that next person to succeed. We are there to learn from each other, but to also see this group of people that want the same thing. We want to see beautiful things. Being feminine and elegant, it allows us to see the world in a different perspective. It allows us to start looking at how things happen to us in a more positive way, because we were born to bring that positivity into our family life, to be next to our husbands and be that feminine, soft, delicate thing that, unfortunately, if you're in a management position, if you're in the workplace, you learn how to suppress that, because you need to always be kind of like in a competition with men, and we don't want that.
Absolutely. This course would be very well suited for professional women, even if you're young and new in your career. But like Lucy said, The workforce is going to be more masculine. It's going to be competitive. I work in tech. It's very data driven. So ladies, we'll talk about self-care in the course, but you need to make sure that you have a routine and you put things in place so that you remind yourself that you are a woman, because that's what the men want. We've got Next Level here saying, I've been spreading the word about the finishing school. Thank you. We appreciate that. And again, we only teach this twice a year. I've shared with you all before in my relationship with a very high value man that I was kind of like, ooh, do I qualify? So I enrolled myself. I invested myself in getting better, because if you all know me, I have a silly side. I'm a bit of an extrovert. I can be a lot. So I've been told. So I want to make sure that I adjust as needed for the environment. This is not about completely changing who you are, but it's just making sure that you make the right impression. All right. Who do we have here? Mr. Option one of our founding fathers of the finishing school, a huge sponsor of the finishing school. And you can let me know if it's okay to share one of the surprises that you have for the ladies, but my lips are sealed until you say so. All right. So like Lucy said, she helped me write a curriculum. I'm going to pull up the screen and I'm going to show you all what you can expect from the finishing school. So a little bit of story time. A little bit over a year and a half ago, you all know we were just living our lives. I was doing my cooking channel and I remember holding a glass and I said, ladies, make sure you hold your stemware by the stem. I learned that in etiquette class. And I went on with the recipe and people started saying, etiquette class, is that a thing? Tell us more. So I slowly started putting my toe in the water, kind of saying, this is what I've learned. And I would do a little bit of cooking and a little bit of femininity, and people were loving it. And you all started asking, Maggie, do you have a course? Maggie, do you do consults? Maggie, do you have a book? And I was like, who am I? I'm just me. Lucy was in the chat and she said, I have an education background. I'll help you write your curriculum. And the rest is history. So quietly every week last summer, we put together this curriculum and we have now gotten an alumni of students underneath our belt who are singing our praises, and we are so grateful. So let me show you all what you all can expect. So ladies, this is for you. If you go to the website that is in the description for the finishing school, you'll see a better picture of me and Lucy. But let's just kind of at a high level. So you'll see here, we always start with an assessment form. This is not a test per se, like you have to give the right or wrong answers, but we do want to know, the ladies that are enrolling into the class, what do you know? Where is your baseline? Have you had any of this training before? Are you excited? Are you nervous? What do you want to get out of it? Because we do teach the class live. It is an 8-week privately taught course over Zoom. So we have our curriculum, but we want to make sure the ladies get what they need out of from the very beginning. What would you add, Lucy?
And the assessment form also allows us to see what are the items that would motivate you. Because again, if we're teaching something, we need to know what's going to stick. So if we are hitting the points that you are most interested in, then that information is you're going to retain it more than just giving you random information that's probably going to be tossed away because you're not immediately using it.
Absolutely. And we want to know, and we get to know our students. We are building a community. We want to know your goals because we want you to win and help you with those goals. All right. So you will take the assessment. That's just a Google form. You can finish on your own time. And then in the beginning, we are going to start with the baseline. We're going to define what femininity is. We are going to talk about elegance. We are going to talk about etiquette. If you've never heard these terms before, we are going to explain to you what they are and why they're useful. The difference between the masculine and the feminine, the traits that are more closely associated with men. I'll give you a free one. Ladies, did you know that being competitive is masculine? So a lot of us have to be that way in our jobs, but you don't want to be that bragger. You don't want to be that person that's just like, oh yeah, look at me. That doesn't appeal as a feminine trait, and men are actually turned off by that. So it's really important that we take time to break this down for our students so they can be aware of what is socially acceptable, and then start aligning their adjustments with how they actually show up. Because a lot of times, ladies, I'll speak for myself, we just blow through life and we don't even know what people think about us. It's just kind of like, I'm here, take me as I am. That's not an elegant woman. You'll see here that for each class, we have dedicated slides that Lucy and I have put together with the materials that we go over with our students. They get a workbook. I'm very proud of our workbook. I'll show you all. This is going to get shipped out to all of our students. It is the Finishing School for the Modern Woman workbook, and it has all of the session materials in there, places for them to take notes, highlights, and I loved it. One of the things I absolutely loved last year when we were teaching is the students would come and they would be prepared, and you could see they would have their notebooks open and they were ready to learn. So we are going to ship that out to all of our students so you have a memento from the class. And then also you'll see here for each session, it's a Zoom meeting. So we have the link. We have a schedule. It's usually Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is noon Pacific. But if we ever need to adjust for travel or anything, we align with the students what time works for them. And then all of the sessions are recorded and you have lifetime access. What would you add, Lucy?
I love that you mentioned about the ladies being prepared right before we start the Zoom session. It's great to see, as teachers, it's good to see that your students are ready to go and ready to take notes. And it's beautiful to see when that light comes up and they're like, yes, I know exactly what they're talking about. And you see them just, so frantically writing some of those tips that we go through on those sessions, because it's, eventually those are things that are probably going to be taught to their children. And that's the beautiful thing. We are the ones that share that information so it'll go through generation after generation. And unfortunately, we have missed that. The modern world has not allowed us to do that generational teaching.
Absolutely. I love that. And Lucy has said it, we believe the older women should teach the young. That is one of the lessons that Kevin Samuels left us. Neither Lucy or I have daughters. And so we have a heart for younger women. And if you did not get this type of training when you were being raised, if you were just told to go out and be part of the workforce, if you were told that, men are no good or being, a feminine woman is a weakness, we are here to help you change that. And what I love is that even over the course of the 8 weeks, the success stories that we get from the ladies during the class and long time after, it just really shows you don't even have to listen to our examples. You will start to build your own examples about how people respond to you, how you went to a social setting and you knew the proper way to engage and the protocols. And, is it something that you're going to use the finest of everything every day? No, but you'll have this in your tool belt, which helps your confidence, which is a big part of being an elegant woman. All right, so let's go back to the curriculum. Again, if you have questions, I'm checking the chat. Please don't hesitate. We only do this twice a year. Registration is now open. The link is in the description. You can go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. Registration is open from August 1 through August 31st because when registration ends, we will start in September. And once we begin, we have that cohort with us through the end. And I'll give you all one other thing. This is our flagship, our entrance course. And Lucy and I are working on an advanced course in November for wife archetypes. If you want to be married, if you want to be a wife and you want to show up as the best version of yourself or your future husband, we are putting together a training specific for that. The requirement to take the advanced class is to enroll and complete the entry class first. All right. So we wanted to make sure we let you all know about that. All right, so we kick off the first week talking about femininity, elegance, and etiquette. And then in section 2, we talk about self-confidence and inner poise. We really talk about what confidence is and what confidence isn't. It isn't loud. It isn't in your face. It isn't bragging. You can absolutely be a confident woman and be an introvert. You can be a confident woman and listen more than you speak. There are ways that we develop confidence, and we help women in the course really understand how to move in spaces when you're a newbie, what to do, what not to do. But one of the red threads that you will see in our teaching, yes, we're going to talk about, how to sit and how to dine and what to wear, but being elegant is an inner quality, and it's something that you take with you everywhere you go. And so that confidence, that quiet confidence, that feminine confidence really speaks volumes, and that's what we talk about in week 2. What would you add, Lucy?
Yes, and it's not, confidence is not being the loudest in the room. Confidence is walking into the room and have it quiet down because they feel that 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 confidence from within. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to be the one that's dressed in a totally different scandalous way to call that attention. You can be very um, modest, and you will call that attention, the right attention, when you walk into a room.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I love that we do in our course, we have our curriculum, yes, but since we teach the class live, it allows us to interact with the students and we get to know them, who are the social butterflies and who are the quiet ones. And we can customize the teaching to make sure that it's useful. You all know I'm big on giving you tangible things that you can do. We give feedback in real time. If someone has a question about, I've got an event coming up, or I'm nervous meeting the in-laws for the first time, whatever it is, we handle it in real time. The sessions are about 60 minutes of teaching, and then we add about 30 minutes for Q&A. We also work it in the lesson. So these are about 90-minute sessions on Saturday afternoons. And again, they are recorded, and you'll have the ability to go back and rewatch or re-listen, or we have a summary for you at the end of all the points, because sometimes we touch on things that may not apply in the moment, but a few months later, you may have an invite to, a fancy dinner party and you want to brush up on what you want to do. You can log into your dashboard and access what we taught for life. And the other thing that I'll share, I know we've got some students in the chat, whenever we update the course, we also have guest speakers. Our students have access to new material for life. I'll show you all later on one of the changes that we made. And I've already told all of our students they can come back and listen to the new content and a very special guest speaker that we have. So I'm just so excited. This is a huge passion project for Lucy and I, and it is our happy place. All right. So we talked about week 2, inner poise. Week 3, you all already know, is my absolute favorite, dining etiquette. So yes, we are going to teach dining etiquette virtually, and I get my little set and my what is it, show and tell, my demo items, and we talk about it, but not just about the proper fork and the proper knife, but the whole dining experience. Here's another one. It's not about the food, believe it or not. We tell the ladies the purpose of sharing a meal, the faux pas to avoid, what signifies that you are, someone who's had a little bit more training in this area than others. And one of my favorite things to do after we do this session, we do it twice a year. So we'll have a fall session and then one next year in the spring. We have a fantastic graduation where the ladies come to Atlanta and we actually teach them in person what we taught them virtually. And we have a very generous sponsor who is covering their graduation dinner so that we can actually put into place so that they have the skills that they need. I love the dining lesson. What would you add, Lucy?
And I think that along with that dining lesson, that graduation dinner, we also have that tea where we also practice the dining etiquette. And as I shared with you, I had never been to a tea service ever. So those things that we learned in the through the curriculum, we used it at actual real tea breakfast or brunch. And it was just perfect because even if we had questions, we had Maggie to tell us, oh, yeah, you can do this and you can do that. So, again, it's just throughout the entire curriculum, it's just such a learning and joyful experience. And the fact that we are learning and sharing and making sure that we are mindful about everything, even our surroundings when we're dining. It's just it teaches us just a different way of doing things.
Absolutely. We have a few comments in the chat. And again, you all, this is our Q&A. We only do this twice a year. So if you have any questions about the finishing school, we are here to answer them for you. We have a comment from Bernard. He says, I think every young lady should watch you guys' shows, and that is what they would become if they watched you all. It's so underrated. So for being real women and classy ladies at the same time. Thank you. Thank you so much. That means so much. Next Level says, I'm on the website. Part of the information for the finishing school is cut off. You can't see the price. You just have to expand it. I'll pull it up for you so you can see. But I'll go ahead and tell you the price is $550. And this gives you access to everything, the workbook, the graduation, guest speakers, lifetime access. But I'll make sure that I show you there's a little button you can expand down. Let's go ahead and go back there so you can see. All right. If you take a look here, I've expanded it out, but if you come to the page, it's going to look like this. And you'll just need to click on the enroll button. All right. So this is where you need to expand it out to see. And there's your price. And you do have a discount code. The discount code again is MaggeLu, and that gets you $50 off. So after dining section, we move into social etiquette, the social graces. And just like you all are saying, unfortunately, this has become a lost art. You don't really have to go far at all. An airport, a grocery store, anywhere to see, unfortunately, women behaving badly. And it's not good for any of us. We all live in the modern world, and that's fine. But there are some things, especially if you want to elevate your own life experience, you're going to mingle with people outside of your community, outside of your family. And we want our students to be prepared for that. So in the social etiquette lesson, we talk about what it means to be a good host. Ladies, what if your husband wants to have company over? Are you prepared to host people? Or, like we do for the finishing school, to reserve a private room at a restaurant and take care of the menu and make sure everybody's dietary restrictions are accounted for? Do you know how to welcome people into a space and be a good host? Likewise, do you know how to be a good guest? Do you know what to do and what not to do when you're invited somewhere? What do you wear? How do you RSVP? Can I bring a plus one? Can I take a doggy bag? All of these things we talk about in the social etiquette section, because often, ladies, here's the thing. People may not say anything, but the world is watching. And the man of your dreams is watching. And I don't want our students to ever do anything that will disqualify you because you didn't know. So there is no shame here. This is the space to ask those questions that you might think are silly, and practice. Like Lucy said, I take you all to dinner. I take you all to tea at Neiman Marcus. That is my gift to our students. If you've never had afternoon tea, I think it's a wonderful feminine experience. And I show you how to do this so that you're comfortable and you can go out and enjoy. What would you add about social graces, Lucy?
And those sections take us back to how we were supposed to be from the beginning. Remember when we were kids and our mom and dad for Christmas, they got us the tea set, and how we used to play with our dolls and share the tea and put the milk and the sugar in the doll's cup. It takes us back to our childhood, and it reminds us, yes, that's how we grew up. Where have we lost that?
Absolutely. We have another student in the chat, Doses of Alexis. She says, salutations all. I am an alumni of the finishing school. I saw some changes within myself during the course. We saw them too. It has been many months since graduation and the journey continues. I feel myself blooming. I tell you, she was our most most improved, most likely to succeed. We just loved her. Alexis came in on two wheels, just like, trying to keep it together. And in the course of the 8 weeks, you saw her turn into a young lady. She's a young mother. She's married. So she's got a husband. She's in nursing school, a lot on her plate, like a lot of us, but she wanted to be better and she invested in making herself better. And when I tell you, let me just show you all Alexis. I am so proud of her. We have our students
Yes.
at the bottom. I know the picture is massive, but let me just show you all our graduating class. And there is Alexis. There is Alexis. She came in a beautiful white gown. And, like Lucy said, whether you were a tomboy or whether you just didn't know some things, nobody told you. Maybe you had a lot of brothers and you just grew up and thought whatever you do was fine. Everybody, elbowing in and fighting for themselves. But ladies, becoming a woman, like Lucy said, it is something that we should have been taught. Some of us got it, some of us didn't. And so once you become an adult, it's up to us to seek it out. So this is a resource for you. We would love to have you, but I will just say this. In this modern world, if we do nothing, you will become harder than you want to be, harsher than you want to be, louder than you want to be. That's just the way this world moves. It doesn't really create spaces for women to be proud of being women, because now we're equal. I can do everything a man can do. That's fine. Y'all know what I think. But I would just encourage you to be mindful of protecting yourself and being a lady. It's a beautiful quality. All right, so let's see what else. I'm going to go back up to the curriculum so you all can see what else is covered in the finishing school. All right. So we talk about business etiquette. Now, this one is important for a lot of us who are professional women. I'm not going to sit here and act like, we lay around all day and we're fanning ourselves and having grapes. That's not it at all, ladies. We work, I work, Lucy works, but there are ways that you can still be feminine and be successful at work. A lot of women think that even in a masculine environment, you need to compete with men as men, but there are things in the professional space, and Lucy is the queen of letting us know how to change the temperature in the room because of how you show up. And so this is a huge lesson for our professional women. What would you add, Lucy?
And I was thinking that as we get back into our femininity, it becomes less uncomfortable to take ownership of it, of how elegant we can be, of how feminine and delicate we are. And the more we do that, the more we can share it with other peers, with our colleagues at work or wherever, saying, you know what, femininity is great, and enjoy it, embrace it, uh, use it as much as you can, because you only have one life to live, and we were born a certain way for a reason.
Yes, that is so true. So again, tonight is your night to ask questions. And Fareed says, are guys allowed in this chat? Absolutely. Our community
Yes.
on YouTube, we love the men. We have so many men who support and protect us here. And we love hearing from the men what they like about a feminine woman. Because here's the deal, ladies. A lot of us don't realize that we have been disqualified because men see us from afar and they see us moving like a bull in the china shop. And they're like, I don't want any part of that. And this isn't something that you're just going to be able to turn on and turn off. You may have to take some tools from your tool belt at certain times, but this is something that you really want to embrace, and it becomes part of who you are. And it's a journey. And some days you're going to get it right, and some days you're going to mess up. We all do. But I will tell you, if you ever see a woman and she is elegant and she is composed and she makes her point without shouting, and she's able to really connect with people. It is a skill, meaning it can be taught and it can be practiced. So none of us are born like this. I've done a lot of work and will continue to do the work and want to share that with the ladies who are interested. All right, so let's see what else we cover. Again, if you have questions, tonight is your night. So we talked about business etiquette, international etiquette on week 6. Some of us travel a lot, some of us don't travel at all, but the world has gotten smaller because we are all connected. And so if you live in a major city, you are going to run into people of different cultures, different generations, even on different sides of town. So we really want our students to be to know what's appropriate. And even if you don't know, how to politely ask, how to research and learn, so that you don't have a reputation that precedes you, that you haven't been anywhere and you don't know how to conduct yourself. So the international etiquette applies whether you get on a plane or you don't. What would you add, Lucy?
And again, it allows you to appreciate what you have here in the US. And it also gives you a different perspective on how the world sees things in their country. And then coming back and share that knowledge that you get from traveling around and meeting other cultures, meeting other people, just appreciating the differences and maybe commonalities that we have from one place to the other.
Yes, absolutely. So I have to say thank you so much to Next Level for the $5. He says something for the tip jar. Thank you, ladies, for the inspiration and the action. You're both appreciated for this leadership, and rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And this is where the income from my channel and Lucy's channel, this is where it goes. I definitely believe in paying it forward. And this is how we are able to, yes, we do charge a tuition because we want the ladies to invest in themselves. And this is something that you need to seek out. But boy, what you get in return, and the way that we are able to be a blessing, because you all are a blessing to us. I'm so grateful. So every little bit helps. Like I said, we do have very generous sponsors who make it easier for us to really treat the ladies. And, I'll say one of the things that touched me so much when we were at tea, because I got a private room at Neiman Marcus, and Alexis said, being in Atlanta and driving by these places all the time, but never really like stopping to come enjoy this experience. She said, now I feel like I belong. I should go to these places. I do have that confidence. And it's really important for me to create those experiences for our ladies and then take that out into the world. Who do we have here? We got Top Lobster in the house. She says, I was the youngest. Oh, I can't read it. One second. Here I come, y'all. Oh, our students are coming in. I was the youngest in the finishing school at 18, our baby. And honestly, the finishing school was a huge wake-up call for me. Because of it, I've redefined my priorities and the vision I have for my future. This one right here just warms my heart. Young ladies, old ladies, but when we can catch them before they've gone out into the world and just fallen in line with what everybody else is doing, I am just so grateful. Thank you for being here. We got Linda Kelly in the house. She says, hello, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Fareed says, the qualities I like in a feminine woman are submissive, soft, gentle, a meek spirit, selfless, and peaceful. So ladies, you're hearing it from the men. And yes, Fareed, go ahead and ask your question. You're hearing it from the men, what they like in a woman. So you can assess yourself and see if, am I measuring up to that? I ask myself every day, and we can definitely get better. Let's see who else is in the chat. Next Level says, do you have Cash App or Zelle? Yes, I think Erin Laura put it in there. Mine is M Brown, and Lucy's is Luke Hazley, just like her name. Thank you for the support. We both have Cash App. Jocelyn is here, another student. Jocelyn says, I attended the finishing school in the fall, and I am so happy that I chose to sign up for the finishing school under the tutelage of two amazing women who are the epitome of what they teach. Y'all are going to make me cry. Thank you, Jocelyn. It's so good to hear back. And I'll say this, we're open for enrollment for new students, but our graduation in the spring is a graduation and reunion. So we will celebrate our new students who have completed the program and invite back our existing students to see what life has brought to them in this last year. And of course, our sponsor is making sure they can have, the dinner, and I'm taking care of tea. So alumni, if you're listening, we definitely can't wait to see you again. Jocelyn says, this course has taught me so many great nuggets of wisdom I've been able to implement in my life, and it has not gone unnoticed by my family, friends, students, and colleagues. Linda says the finishing school is a true asset to invest in yourself. Thank you, CSAL, for the fascinating topic. And Jocelyn says, young ladies noticed the difference in me and they started to come to me for advice on proper dress and behavior in different situations. Jocelyn is an elementary school teacher. And so look at the impact, not only for yourself, but for the community where you are. Thank you for the hand claps, the condemned. And Jocelyn's still going. She says, the work that these two ladies have done gave me the skills and tools to help the young women in my community embrace the principles of femininity. This course is worth it if you are willing to use it. Oh my goodness. Next Level wants a calm spirit. What would you add, Lucy?
And that's what we were talking about, is that generational gift that we give, and the young ones, they notice and they can appreciate the difference between what they see on a day-to-day basis and when they see that softness being delicate, speaking in a different tonality, different, voice level. So Jocelyn, it's so beautiful to hear that, because it's not only it affected you, it impacted you, it's impacting, it's what is it? It's leaving those ripple, it's that ripple effect that goes down to the younger generation. Amazing.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go back to the curriculum. Again, tonight we're taking questions about the finishing school. So we talked about international etiquette. Week 7 is emotional intelligence, and this is actually new. So I want to make sure, since we have so many alum here, I put it in our Discord, but I want to make sure you all know. So weeks 1 through 6 are the same as last year, but I'll share with you all, I am actually, in addition to everything else, working on a train the trainer program so that I can get certified. I've been teaching this, but I want to make sure that our curriculum is top notch. And when I had my coach look at the curriculum, she said that we needed to add a section on emotional intelligence. And ladies, we just got to talk about it. Today, I just say, women in general aren't on their best behavior. We get triggered, we have outbursts, we do things that we regret, and that is not how an elegant woman conducts herself. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. James, for the $10 Cash App. That is so generous of you. Thank you. But what I was saying is the emotional intelligence is really getting to the root of how we conduct ourselves. Ladies, life is going to give you an opportunity every day to be offended, every day to be frustrated, every day to tell somebody about themselves. But is that the impression that you want to leave? There are obviously ways to get your point across, to even navigate difficult situations and maintain your composure. It doesn't matter if you're dressed to the nines and you have perfect posture and you eat with the right cutlery, but if inside you're an exposed nerve and you're walking around getting offended and going off all the time, you lose all of your credibility. So that is new for this year. So new students will get that material, and our existing students can come back completely free to get this new lesson on emotional intelligence. And anytime we have updates, our existing students will always have access to the content past and present. What would you add, Lucy?
Thank you, Mr. James, for the cash. I truly appreciate it. And again, this is going to go in the finishing school bucket to make our get togethers much more valuable, even though, just seeing each other those days, knowing that we met for so many weeks and then getting to that point and seeing and hugging each other, it's just a beautiful, beautiful ending to this journey.
Absolutely. All right, let's see who else we have in the chat. Escape the Rat Race is here. She says, I just ended my live stream. She came over to support. Yes, people notice the difference in my temperament, even in business dealings. We talked about that, you all. I'm teaching my daughter and granddaughter how to be proper women. I love this. So you all see from 18 to a grandmother, everybody is getting value out of what we teach, because you can change your own life and then you can change the life of those around you. This all started because I knew I'm a lot, and I enrolled myself in some classes, and my man actually noticed. I didn't tell him. I did it quietly because I wanted to be a better version of myself. And he was like, "Babe, what are you doing? Something's different about you." And I was like, "Oh my God, okay, let me tell you about these classes." And he encouraged me, and he's the one who said, "You need to get that stuff that you do out there." So I'm over here with Lucy trying to share, and we have a wonderful community of women who a year later are still singing the praises. So I am so grateful. And yes, Jocelyn, thank you for breaking the cycle. Next Level says, I want to sponsor a student. Let me put a few nickels together and I'll reach out. I should have had it. I think I will find it. We actually have a sponsorship form. So first of all, thank you. Next Level, that is incredibly gracious. We had a couple sponsorships last time, and this is such a blessing for our students who want a better outcome in life, but maybe their circumstances don't allow. So please connect with me, Maggie the Substitute Teacher at gmail.com or Facebook inbox or Instagram inbox. And we'll do however you like it. If you want to pick a student, I'll have the students apply, but that is incredibly generous of you. And if anybody wants to sponsor a student or put a scholarship together, let me know. If you just want to make a contribution for the work that we're doing, we appreciate it all. This is our drop in the bucket, and we are so, so grateful. That is incredibly generous. All right. And so the last week, week 8, Woman of Elegance, we have guest speakers as our week 8 for each session. And I don't know if you all know Vivienne. Let me show you who she is. Vivienne Abena is Woman of Elegance. She has a YouTube channel, and she teaches about elegance on a scale that's so much further. Like, I'm not even there yet, but she has agreed. Let me see if I can share my screen, you all. She has agreed to do 2 things. The first, let me show you all. And you can check out Woman of Elegance on all platforms. But this is Vivienne. She is in the UK, and she also teaches elegance. She has her courses. She has a blog. She has YouTube channel. But she will be our guest speaker for this session of the finishing school. So on week 8, all of our students, current students and former students, are always welcome to come back and listen to our guest speakers. And that is one of the highlights of the class. We have had Sarah Badenova, who is a professional ballroom dancer. Our first week, she taught us all about deportment and how to walk, and the way we move. Feminine body language is huge. Our second session, we had one of my consults, Lauren, who is a business attorney, our attorney. Lucy and I had to get our material copywritten. And she talked about maintaining your femininity in a masculine workspace, because being an attorney, you can imagine. Now we have Woman of Elegance coming, and she has said that I can share. Not only will she be our week 8 guest speaker, she's actually going to come to Atlanta next spring, and she will deliver our graduation address in person to our students. I'm so excited next spring. So all of our current students and former alumni who come back will be able to meet with and hear from Vivienne. So I'm just so excited. That is week 8. What would you add, Lucy?
Vivian is that woman that she walks into a room and the room goes silent just because you can see it, you can feel the essence, you can just you cannot miss her because of that confidence that she has, and it's something that we all look to maybe having a little bit of, because that is something that it's practiced. You gotta practice it a lot. You have to live it, and like Jocelyn, you have to also share it with the little ones.
Absolutely. And Doses of Alexis says, huge thank you to Mr. If you know, you know, for encouraging you, and Auntie Lucy for gracing us with your knowledge, elegance, and femininity. So excited for next year. You all can tell our students, we absolutely love them, and we want them to win. This is a space where we actually promote women being women. We actually promote women having real relationships in marriage or long term, showing up as the best version of yourself and being proud in an elegant way, but being proud of who we are. And my man told me, Maggie, tell the ladies, you're already feminine. You just have to stop fighting it. So this is a resource to help you stop fighting it. Absolutely. So you have my email, Maggie the substitute teacher at gmail.com. If you all need, if you have any questions, again, if you want to sponsor a student, let's see if there's anything else. We've got just a few minutes and then we will wrap up. But I want to make sure you all saw everything, and you can see each week there's a Zoom meeting, and then you'll see here we have recordings. This is last year's, but this is just an example. The ladies have access to their own personal dashboard, and after each session, they'll have access to the recording so they can see. And new students, when they come in, they will get the recording from our previous guest speakers. So you already know we have a big party here in Atlanta in the spring. We have books for them. We have courses, different bonuses, my cookbook, just tools, all that we can do to help them be successful. So again, to wrap this up, what you get as part of the finishing school is 8 weeks of private classes. So this is taught on Zoom. This will not be on YouTube. This is a privately taught lesson for those who enroll. You can attend from anywhere. So if you're in the US or any other country, any time zone, we try to pick a time that's convenient, but you have lifetime access. Or if you miss because of travel, it's uploaded usually same day, but no later than the next day. You get my cookbook as a bonus. It's an interactive cookbook where you have my recipes and a video of me making it. I was invited to speak at a marriage conference, and I talked about communication and relationships. That is a bonus that our students get. All guest speakers, past and present, you have access to my network of guest speakers. Your workbook will be sent to you so you can take notes and make it personal. Vivienne gave us her Ultimate Elegance Guide. We did a free series last year, the 30, Being Elegant in 30 Days. You get the book included. It's available for purchase for everyone else, but our students get the book included. Shout out to another generous sponsor. And then all of the in-person events that we have. So again, the price is $550 with the discount code MaggeLu. You can take $50 off and join us and the rest of the community for the best version of yourself. Oh my goodness. All right. We got Tara in the house, another student. Tara says, this course is a must and has truly changed my life for the better. From my heart to yours, you must attend. Thank you so much, Fareed, for the question. But tonight we are focused on the finishing school. Lucy and I will be back for another Q&A. Ask us anything another time. Tara says, I'm an alumna and would engage you to attend if you are considering it. Maggie and Lucy teach every skill required to be an elegant, feminine woman, and I am better for it. Oh, cannot wait to see Tara this year. She's also a married woman, 3 small children, just trying to stay on top of everything, and I get it. And what I loved is that our students looked forward to class. They would get, themselves together and get dressed up and want to show up because it was like self-care. And we were all sad for it to end, but when we got together in person, oh, it was just wonderful. What would you add, Lucy?
And you could see the engagement level as time went by and how they applied the information the week before, and they would share what how it was received that weekend after. It's just beautiful to see the actual uh, metamorphosis into a beautiful butterflies that we have, uh, but that they weren't able to open those wings to fly, and this setup gives them that opportunity to say it's okay, it's beautiful to be a woman.
Absolutely. So we're going to wrap this up. I see you all on Instagram. Someone is already saying, I would love to be sponsored. So here's what you can do next. So we will wrap this up. Again, the finishing school, we will start in September, the first weekend in September. So registration is open from now until August 31st. Once we start, registration is closed and we won't teach this again until next year. Also, if you want to take our advanced course in November about wife archetypes, you have to complete this course first because we're going to refer back to a lot of the foundation. The discount code is available for you to use. If you are interested or you know someone who is maybe a diamond in the rough and really wants to be the best version of herself, we have an incredible community, and I haven't seen anything like this out there. So if you're interested in sponsoring a student, if you want to provide a full or partial scholarship, just connect with me again, Maggie, the substitute teacher at gmail.com, and let me know your requirements. Meaning, if she needs to write an essay, if she needs to be under a certain age, if you have any requirements, I want to make sure that your wishes are carried out. If you want me to put a form together and let the ladies apply, and then you choose from their responses, that's what we did last time. So, or if you just want us to pick somebody, we can do that too. So if we have anyone who wants to nominate someone, you can absolutely buy the course for someone. When you get to the checkout page, there's a little box that you can send it as a gift, and then just put in the email of the person that you want to take the course, and all of the materials will be sent to them. So again, this is our flagship program. This is our happy place. This is the finishing school for the modern woman. And hopefully this was a helpful overview for you all. And you got to hear from some of our students. And we cannot wait to teach the new ones and reunite with our existing students in the spring. What would you say to close us out, Lucy?
I can't wait to start the new session, to see the new students, and to see our graduates, and just have fun and enjoy being the feminine women that we were born to be.
Absolutely. So, welcome, any age, wherever you are. We are here for you. If you have any questions, you can reach out. Thank you all so much. Thank you to our generous sponsors. You know who you are, who have made this possible. Thank you to our founding fathers. We ran the curriculum by the men that we respect last year to make sure we were covering the topics that the men say, this is what we don't see in modern women. Thank you so much, Next Level, for the $5, Fareed for the £2, and thank you, James, for the Cash App. And I just got your email about the sponsorship, so I'll take a look at that. All right, so Lucy and I will be back sometime soon, talking about relationships or whatever else we want to cover. So keep your notifications on my channel, on Lucy's channel, and we will be back. And again, go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com to enroll today, and we will see you all next time. Adios.
Adios.